Iowa is home to 86,000 family farms and leads the nation in the production of commodities such as corn, we're number one, soybeans number two, pork number one, and eggs number one. Iowa also ranks in the top 10 in cattle production, as many family farms raise livestock alongside their corn and soybeans. The 2017 U.S. Census of Agriculture showed over 23,000 farms in Iowa that raise cattle or calves with annual sales of over $4.7 billion. Caring for livestock takes a spirit of commitment, selflessness, and of course, hard work. These farmers get up very, very early in the morning, work on their farms all day, and are active members of their community. These families and their values form the foundation of what makes up our rural communities across Iowa. However, over the years, the consolidation of the beef industry has threatened the very livelihood of these families and rural communities where they reside. From the 2012 USDA agricultural census to the 2017 agricultural census, Iowa lost nearly 1,500 cattle producers. This is not a new issue to the beef industry. The concern of fair and transparent cattle pricing has seen increased attention due to disruptions on our food supply chain, very obvious during this period of the virus pandemic. For background now, the U.S. Department of Agriculture mandates price reporting for live cattle and tracks the spread between fed cattle prices, which the producer gets paid, and the box beef values. That's what the packing company gets paid. Now, for the years 2016 to 2018, this spread averaged about $21 per hundredweight. Now, soon you will see me comparing that to a very, very big increase in that $21. However, during April and May, there were major beef supplies disruptions as large number of plant workers contacted COVID-19. Because there are only 4 companies that slaughter 80% of the cattle. Companies have the advantage of purchasing cattle from thousands of producers, acting as a checkpoint for the entire industry. These packers dominate the marketplace and limit opportunities for price negotiation. During this time of these recent months, packer profit margin topped out at a spread of $279 per hundredweight, compared, as I just said, to the $21. This was the largest spread between the price of fed cattle and the price of boxed beef since the inception of the mandatory price reporting law of 2001. So while the packers were making record profits, the independent producer had nowhere even to market his livestock. It is important to note the impact of consolidation doesn't just hurt producers. It hurts consumers, because we've seen the price of ground beef and steaks, a staple in many American diets, doubled or tripled recently. Grocery stores also limited the amount of meat that families could buy. All of this has made very clear that the cattle market is broken and real action is needed to fix it. Now, thankfully, the Trump administration stepped up to this cause. It has responded with 2 decisive actions to address the country's cattle market. First, the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the Department of Justice are both investigating the practices of these packing companies, particularly the 4 that dominate the market. While this will take time, President Trump has personally asked for these investigations and said he did it because he wants to protect the family farmer. Second, on July 22nd, the USDA issued a significant report that lays out a roadmap to fix the cattle marketplace. The U.S. Department of Agriculture mentions 12 different ways to create additional price discovery, increase marketplace competition, and have a more transparent relationship between the price of live cattle and the beef products that the consumer buys. This investigation and this report is very much a breath of fresh air, particularly for this senator who's bringing this issue to the attention of agriculture departments and justice departments under both Republican and Democrat administrations for long periods of time. We've had multiple administrations, from Democrat to Republican, ignoring independent cattle producers and the broken cattle market. So I'm very grateful that President Trump and Secretary Perdue take this issue seriously when so many others before them have ignored this problem. In the report issued by Secretary Perdue, one of the considerations for Congress is to create a mechanism to mandate negotiated cash trades. And so I'm getting to one of the very key reasons I'm on the floor today, because I see some of the actions in this report from Secretary Perdue as almost an endorsement of the Grassley Tester 50/14 concept. The Grassley Tester bill will require half of packers' weekly volume of beef slaughter to come as a result of purchases made in the cash market. The fact is that without a mandated amount of cash trade, independent producers become residual suppliers and then lack the leverage to fairly negotiate with packing companies. Besides the Grassley Tester bill, Congress has a responsibility to fully vet the 11 other considerations that the Trump administration lays out in its report. The Agriculture Committee should hold hearings on this roadmap. We should bring a diverse set of stakeholders, from government officials, business executives, and subject matter experts, to explain the challenges that cattle producers are facing. A hearing would allow the committee to properly vet proposals to improve mandatory price reporting, which needs to be reauthorized by September 30th of this year. The beef industry employs hundreds of thousands of hardworking men and women who work each day to help feed our country, and because we export so much, you can say feed the world. As the U.S. Department of Agriculture census shows, We're losing producers due to consolidation. We need to show these men and women that Washington, D.C. is listening. We need to show our rural communities that we want them to survive. We must develop solutions to the problems that they are facing. I will continue to be the voice for independent producers. Today, I'm asking my colleagues in Congress to be that voice with me. Support my bill with Senator Tester and bring competition and price transparency back to the cattle market. And while I'm at it, I want to reemphasize something I previously said. The Ag Committee should hold a hearing on these issues and do it very soon. And I'm happy to see Senator Tester on the floor, who I think here is to speak on the very same issue, and I yield the floor.